there are times I got to call you in. Be like, I'm blood, sweat, and tears over here. I am tapped out. I need a white towel and someone needs to spray water in my mouth. You got to get in there. I don't have much love for myself as a mother or a person, so I think I had a fear of finding it again if it came to it.
How do you expect to love someone else if you can't properly love yourself?
I'm flexing my biceps. I'm like, I'm trying to get the testosterone going so I can stop being a bitch. Tea party, guys. We're gonna figure this out. Get the finger sandwiches.
Where's the Mad Hatter?
It's me. My physical form. All of us combined, we're the Mad Hatter.
And we are happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I wasn't expecting that. That was nice.
By the time this airs, it will in fact be your birthday.
It will be my birthday, yeah. I was looking for one of our daughter's like bejeweled tiaras, and then suddenly everything is missing. Can't find any magic wands, tiaras, fancy gloves, all of it's gone. But I did find the birthday crown. So I am going to be wearing this for a few minutes today.
Oh, man.
If this is airing today, that means that we're going to be in Vegas soon.
If the day that this airs, we will be leaving for Vegas the very next morning.
I'm so excited.
Yep.
I need a vacation.
Gonna be an interesting fucking week for sure. I'm ready for it.
Me too.
We got a really nice hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Rented a BMW to drive around while we were out there.
We have a balcony.
I do have a balcony.
We need to go dress shopping. Can we do that this week?
Maybe. We have to get caught up.
We do have to get caught up.
I think we could probably swing it Saturday or Sunday during the daytime.
I spend Sundays with the kids.
Saturday, I have to drop my car off this Saturday, so we could probably do it Saturday while we're up there if you go with me.
Dope. Okay.
So we have, we don't really have a whole lot of announcements. There will be a schedule shift.
Mm-hmm.
And it may have already happened by the time you guys hear this. We don't know yet because we're waiting on the studio. Once the studio is set up, we have to move our live streams around so that we are able to do the Tuesday night Patreon live from the studio, and we can't do that on Tuesdays when we have the kids.
Correct.
Unless we do it earlier in the daytime. So there will be a schedule shift coming probably after we get back from Vegas. So you guys are getting this on the 11th. There will be a t-shirt drop when we get back from Vegas. That will be the accountability hoodies, the burn the fucking ship hoodies, which are Carhartt, the accountability t-shirts, and the burn the ships t-shirts.
I'm excited about those.
Me too. The accountability t-shirts are going to have one in pink that say accountability, like ironically enough, you're the problem, will be done in either pink or yellow. So you have an option for people who don't want to wear pink.
That color shirt, or will it be black?
It'll be on black.
That's going to look so
That
good.
Heather black, yeah. So, and that shirt drop will happen on the 24th. So, probably around 7 or 8 p.m. So for you guys who are ready for that, set your alarms so that you don't miss them. The hoodies are very, very limited. There's 25 of each. So once they're gone, they're gone. Like, they're Carhartt. They aren't fucking cheap, but they will be nice.
I love that we're selling hoodies. We're getting into the fall months.
Yeah.
I woke up the other morning, so I don't know what it is, but I've been waking up at 5 a.m. Before anybody's awake, I go out on the patio and I have a little smoke session. I enjoy the weather. And there's been a slight breeze, and I haven't turned the fans on. And this morning I was sitting outside. I was like, ooh, I'm a little chilly. We're getting into the autumn. I'm so excited.
Do you want to do those blanket hoodie things that we wore, or that you wore on that live stream?
Yes.
I have to get with Jordan about that if that's the thing.
I don't know when I want to release them, though.
You want to wait until it gets colder outside?
I was thinking we could wait until it gets colder outside, or we could pre-sell them, sell them now, and they could be gifts for when it starts getting cold out, and be like, hey, baby, I got you a new blanket.
Yeah.
Boom. To be better. Crying. You're amazing.
Yeah, we'll look into that. If we do that, yeah, pre-sale would be the way to go, and just not put a limit on it.
Right.
And just see, like, run it from a date to a date.
See how many we get.
Yeah, that would be the way to go. If that's the case, then I need to have Jordan get a black one, because you wanted to do black and not red, and then have him embroider it so we actually have a physical to show off, and then go that route. Journals are going to ship. I got the tracking number for that. So those should be here before we go to Vegas.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep. I'm excited about those. I'm very excited about those.
Our second poker table is going to be here soon.
Tomorrow. No, Thursday. 2 days from now.
So it'll be here before Friday.
Yep. Which is good because we may have more than 9 people here on Friday. So
I'm so excited for poker.
Yeah.
I have to consciously tell myself, don't whisper, stop whispering.
Why? Oh.
Because the microphone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really hoping like we go to Vegas and we play poker and we walk away with more than we went in.
Yeah. I want to just play a tournament.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that like if we spent $200 each and sat down on a tournament table and lost, it's a day's wasted.
I want to get to the bubble
for only $200. So I'd want to make final table. I'd like to be in the money, but
Isn't
if I bust out super fast, I don't care.
Isn't the bubble final table?
No, the bubble is the spot right before payouts.
Oh.
So if we're in a tournament of 100 people and the top 10 pay out and you go out in 11th place, you went out on the bubble because you didn't make it into the money.
It is absolutely insane that I'm so good at poker and know absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, you shit on me pretty hard last week.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
A little bit.
You're not, even a little bit.
The back of my mind, I was like, let's teach him a lesson.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for what it's worth, had you not done that and had you actually folded to my all in, we would have taken first and second in that tournament instead of me going out on the bubble and you taking second.
Do you really think we would have been first and second?
I absolutely do, because you were chip leader. You would have put me into second or third place with your chip stack, and John wouldn't have been able to bully you the way he bullied you.
That's a good idea. But if he didn't bully me the way he bullied me, I wouldn't have the knowledge that I have now.
Yeah, you would have, because I would have seen you doing like the way that you were playing, and I would have sat down and talked to you about heads up play.
Right. I don't think I would have learned that frustration though. I was so mad.
Oh, I bet.
I was like, this fucker. He plays good. He's really aggressive at the final hands.
Right. He's a very good small table player.
Yeah.
Like he thrives with 2 to 3 people. When there's a full table of 9, he's not very good. Which is why he buys back in so many times. I don't know. I have a lot of fun with it. The people that we play with are very, very just good people to play.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love how dramatic it gets and everybody's gasping at the table and shit. I look over and I see Sean just stressed out looking at it.
He was so fucking card dead. He said he had 3 playable hands the entire game last week.
No way. Yeah. That sucks.
And he's like, every single time I folded, the flop would come and I would have won the hand. And I was like, pay to see the flop sometimes, dude. It's worth it. Like if you're feeling it, call it. Like I don't know.
Hope this week's better for him.
Yeah, me too. There'll be more people here this week, so it's exciting.
It's exciting and it's fun. I love that people want to play with us.
Yeah, we got invited to another game.
We did.
So there's a place in Bradenton called One-Eyed Jack's.
Yeah.
The poker kennel, I think is what they called it. It was a dog race track, and now that they banned greyhound racing in Florida, it's just a poker club. And they do big tournaments. There's tournaments there that are $500 or $600 buy-ins, and like you can go up there and play for a day or 2 days straight, depending on what's going on. And as we get a little more acclimated to playing, I think that I would want to do that once or twice a month. Just go up there and have a fucking day of poker.
That'd be dope.
Get away from everything.
I feel like I would learn a lot doing that too.
Yeah.
It's a very diverse. I'm assuming if people are paying $500-$600 to get in there, this isn't just chump change for them. They're actually
right. Well, for some people, it's Sarasota Bradenton, so $500 buy-in for people in Sarasota. The people who gamble, it's not a lot of money.
No,
it's not.
Okay.
There's a lot of millionaires in Sarasota. A lot. I think on this coast, the only city that has more millionaires per capita than Sarasota is Naples.
Wow. I always thought Naples was just the bougie area.
No, Sarasota's got money. You got St. Armand Circle out there. You got Longboat Key, Siesta Key. Like there's money out there, like money out there.
You're right. I guess Siesta Key is Sarasota. I always just thought of Siesta Key as its own entity away from.
Still Sarasota County.
Okay.
They go out there. Right. They go out there and spend their money. I got in. There was a poker tournament out there one time that was held by a radio station, and it was like 107 people were able to get in and play for free, and it was like $1,000 payout, and they had 107 people could play because it was 107 radio station, whatever that was, and like you had to refresh to get in, and like if you could secure your seat, you could get in, and I got in, and I played the first hand. The guy to my right was just playing stupid, and I had a full house. And he went all in, and I called him, and I doubled up my chip stack. And then like 2 hands later, I got quads.
Yeah.
And somebody was trying to push me out of the pot, and I called him because I had the best fucking hand, and I tripled up, and I made it to the final table.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, I was in the money, and then I fucking got pocket queens, and I was beat by pocket aces. I was pissed.
Oh, out of 107 people.
Yeah, I made it to the final 9.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was dope.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I started watching that video you sent me about
The math of it.
the math. Oh my God. I had to stop it and look at it. I was just looking at the screen, looking at the numbers, being
Trying
okay,
to understand.
how did we get here?
I downloaded an Excel document that explains all that. I struggle with the math of it. I play by feel.
Yeah.
Which is why I play better in person than I do in online games. Online games are also free chips. So people will play and like really gamble and just risk it because they can. There's no real risk behind it. There's no real loss unless they're playing for real money.
Right. They're also paying $2.99 to get 100 million chips. So even if they are buying into the game for $10, you can have a fuck ton of chips to play for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think about that. I always just played it for free. I ain't put money in that game.
Yeah.
I have another game that takes all my money. So, anyways, enough poker talk. Birthday girl.
Oh, I forgot. Am I still?
You are still wearing the thing.
I forgot about that. I don't know where to put it now. Just want to get into emails?
Poofy hair peaches.
Yeah, this is...
You got the Hagrid going on over there.
Is that what this is called?
All you need is a beard.
Okay.
And then you just have to say, probably shouldn't have told you that.
You're a wizard, Harry. Oh, no, I don't have my Bob Ross beard anymore.
That's funny.
Did I tell you who I'm going to be for Halloween this year?
No.
I'm going to be Andre 3000.
Oh, you did tell me that.
Yeah, with the overalls and shit. All right. I'm going to do the whole thing, yeah. I'm very excited. We should go to a...
You have, there are two pairs of Carhartt overalls in this house. They're probably going to be way big on you, but I have them.
Yeah?
A pair of black ones and a pair of desert sand ones.
I've seen you in the black ones.
They probably fit me a lot better now that I lost all that weight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should do a fashion show after this.
Just one.
I don't. What?
Let's do emails.
Okay.
We have to be done by 1:30 and it's 11:40.
Oh, you're right.
So.
All right. So this email is called "Losing Love or Myself."
Okay.
That's a very poetic subject heading. Good afternoon from the UK. I find myself lost in your videos for so long every evening. I think it's because I'm just waiting to hear something that is similar to my situation and find some guidance. But I thought, what better way than to just write in myself?
It's crazy that she's listened to they have listened to our content and not found something that relates to their story.
Right.
So this might be an interesting one.
I'm kind of excited.
Yep. Hopes are high.
I guess I just feel insignificant in the larger picture and don't feel it was worth someone's time hearing my issues. But here I am hoping to find some clarity and support from you two incredible humans. That sentence, I guess I just feel insignificant in the larger picture and didn't feel it was worth someone's time hearing my issues. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
It's a lot of people though. It is a lot of people that feel that way. We hear a lot of that. People who, oh my God, I can't believe you responded to our comment. Like, they think that there's a whole lot going on over here that's really not going on over here. Just because we have a platform, we are just normal fucking people.
Yeah.
And like, if you've got something going on and we can help you and you're not sending a trauma dumping email, we're going to try to do what we can. Like, I don't know. It sucks to hear. You're right. That just sucks.
It does suck. To make you guys feel a little bit better, I was crying doing laundry yesterday morning.
You cried a lot yesterday.
I did. You left the house and it just started. And I was standing in there and I was like, and I'm folding shit and I'm throwing it over. And I was like, you can just stop and cry. I'm like, no, because the world doesn't stop because I'm crying.
Yeah. Mental health, ladies and gentlemen. Mental dysfunction.
I hate that that's how my body responds to situations too.
Yeah.
You'll see in my vlog, I was out there. I caught myself just crying. I'm like, why am I so wet? I'm just talking. And I'm flexing my biceps. I'm like, I'm trying to get the testosterone going so I can stop being a bitch.
That's funny.
My vlogs are so chaotic.
Hey, speaking of testosterone, if you guys want to get your lab work done and you are male or female and want to know what's going on in your body, if you go to matrixhormones.com and fill out the new patient form, you use to be better as the code and it will save you $200 on your consultation with them. We are both patients of
Yes.
Matrix. They have been very, very good to us and they are very, very thorough. So
I need to finish that paperwork.
you do need to finish that paperwork.
I last thought about that on Sunday, and today is not Sunday.
No,
I
it's
just
Tuesday.
realized today is not Sunday.
No, it's not. We got a new patron.
Oh, patron.
Patron.
Hey guys, if you're seeing this, Chris must have just shouted patron.
Patron.
And patron means that we just got somebody who just subscribed to our Patreon.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what that is, Patreon is a member-based subscription website that allows us to do early release, live streams, exclusive content, vlogs, and we have our own Discord server that is exclusive to our Patreon community.
That Discord is absolutely insane. It is an ever-growing community of like-minded people who you could say practice what we preach, have implemented the things that we have suggested, and it's working.
Would you go as far as to say that they're getting better?
I'd go as far as saying that they're definitely getting better. So if you have questions, you need unbiased opinions, you don't feel safe going to anybody in your present life, I would highly recommend checking out the Discord.
Yep. Also, for those of you who don't want to support us financially, that's totally fine. The best thing that you can do in terms of helping us grow this channel is by sharing our content. The more people that see what we do, the more likely it is to get shared, the more people that are going to support what we are doing, the longer we are going to do this. Back to your regular scheduled program.
All of the multivitamins sank to the bottom of my smoothie and now it's just sitting in my throat. Oh, God. You know when you let a pill dissolve in your mouth for a little bit too long? That's the taste.
Yummy.
Back into the email. I have been with my husband for just over 4 years now. We have the most beautiful 19-month-old daughter that is just so mentally strong and proud and a nonstop tornado. She is our entire world. Children really are just little Tasmanian devils.
Mm-hmm.
There was I don't remember what we were recording, but you said having children is chaotic. There's a laser gun sitting in one of the boxes for the t-shirts. And I thought you were just being funny. We walked out and you were showing me something on your computer. Our son really did just boop. Yep. Crazy. This man worships the ground I walk on. He would move mountains for me. He would drop his whole life in an instant, which he has shown on every level imaginable more than once. And I love him wholeheartedly. But I'm not feeling in love anymore, with a question mark.
Okay.
And I worry this is all me and how I feel about life and motherhood and stuff that's rebounding onto our relationship and darkening my feelings.
Really hope there's some examples here.
We used to have the most active sex life. We were talking multiple times a day.
Hang on.
Okay. I hope she included whether or not this started before or after the baby.
Yeah, that's why I haven't chimed in yet, because I got a whole lot of opinions and thoughts here, but I'm going to let you read a little further before I start assuming shit.
Okay. I find it so hard to know what these feelings are because it physically hurts inside if I picture my life without him. He's an incredible father, an incredible person, and has a heart of gold, but we have our issues. Every time I read the word but, I feel as if that's somebody talking themselves into the negative thing of it.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're using the good aspects to talk themselves into it. Although
Thinking
there's
they're
that
gonna balance.
Right. But that underlining negative is greater than all the positives compiled. Where do I even begin in handling the way I'm feeling? How do we work on this? Or how do I feel how do I work on myself and figuring out how or what I feel? We take what time we can for ourselves on an evening when our little one is in bed. We play games, we relax with music on, we talk, we organize the house, we plan, etc. But it's just not helping us connect, or maybe me connect. I hate feeling like I'm floating and not knowing which direction I'm going next. I have in the past stayed in relationships for the fear of being alone and starting again. I don't have much love for myself as a mother or a person, so I think I had a fear of finding it again if it came to it.
How do you expect to love someone else if you can't properly love yourself?
You know, I made a TikTok about that. you don't have to like who you are. You don't have to like the thoughts that you live with or the depression that you may have. To love yourself is to recognize that you are worth the air that you breathe. That your presence means something in a lot of people's lives. And you get up in the morning and you brush your fucking teeth. You get up in the morning, you get dressed. You don't skip the shower. You love yourself enough to take care of yourself even when the little fucking gnat thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the back of the train. I'm like, baby, come back. Fuck. Did you get it? All right, Mr. Miyagi. Oh, do you remember the last thing I said?
You were talking about brushing your teeth and getting dressed.
Don't skip a shower.
Don't skip a shower. Yep.
We do a lot of things for people that we don't even fucking love.
Yeah.
We go out of our way to help a lot of people that we really don't even care about, but we do it because we feel obligated. And we don't even do that for the body that we live in.
Yeah. Most people don't change their oil on time, let alone take care of themselves. So my thought process on a lot of what she said so far is that, one, I don't think that she's bounced back. She said that they got a 19-month-old.
Correct.
So the baby's still very young.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's not a whole lot of free time for them to go do stuff. You need to move that down. I'm sure there's not a whole lot of time for them to do stuff. I'm sure that even though they're making time in the evening to hang out and do shit, there's not an intimacy there. There could be a whole lot of lack of self-care going on. Even though we tell people that your postpartum depression on average lasts a year, it can go beyond that. Sometimes people's hormones don't bounce back. There could be other things going on in the body. This is why we push people to get their blood work done. If she had the baby and then got on birth control, like there's a whole lot of factors that could be playing into that. And we know that if your hormones are off, it can cause depression. It can cause a whole lot of other things. And it really does come down to a balance in the body and external factors of everything that's going on in the world around us, the things we eat, the air we breathe, like, the shit we drink.
Yeah.
That affects all of that shit. So like, that's something that, might be something she should look into. I got to be honest though, it sounds to me like the intimacy is off. But to say that you've got the most amazing man ever and that you just don't think you're in love anymore, like love is a choice. It's a verb.
Right.
You choose to be in love. I believe that.
Me too.
So for you to be like, yeah, I'm not so sure I'm in love anymore, that's because you don't want to be. If you believe this man is the most amazing thing ever, then you can make that choice to actively still love him.
Yeah.
And be in love with him and to do the things necessary to and if you think love just equates to sexual intimacy, you've got another thing coming. Like, you're fucking wrong.
That's a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
That's a lot of trauma with that mindset.
Yeah.
My whole algorithm, everything I watch on YouTube, on TikTok, it's very wholesome content to this point. Every once in a while, like T-Spill is a channel I used to watch a lot, like 5 years ago. It's a lot of celebrity news and shit. Every once in a while that pop up and it's worth watching because of the podcast, gives us something to talk about. But I'm seeing a lot of couples who are like in their 90s. There's one couple who's been married for 80 years, in their hundreds. And one thing that they are really adamant is about, you are not always going to like your person.
Right.
There could be a prolonged period of time where you're like, why am I even with this fucker?
Yep.
You choose to love them anyway.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
Yeah, I know.
There's days that we don't like each other. I mean, we love each other because we choose to love each other, but there's days that it's definitely hard to be around me. I know. Like, I know that my borderline and that my depression makes it hard. I can be a miserable piece of shit sometimes.
I get it. I can too.
It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. You know what I mean? So like, but there's a choice. Like when I'm going through that, what I'm going through internally. You could just let me isolate and go do your thing, and you choose not to do that. You bring me candy bars and like offer to make me gravy and biscuits and let me play video games. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's a choice. It's a fucking choice. It sounds to me like her sex drive is off, and that's what her issue is.
That's a very common thing after having a child. I would say I had kids back to back. After having firstborn, I would say my sex drive was non-existent. The fact that I got pregnant with our daughter, absolute fluke. It was a one-time, like, one-night stand shit. Same dad. We were married at the
Right.
time, but whatever. I got pregnant again. My sex drive was dead for maybe 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Had no desire for anything. It made me physically sick thinking about having to do anything sexual.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of stimuli that you take in subconsciously every single day. We know because of the things that we read that your brain filters 0.00004% of information to you. Everything else is retained subconsciously. So like there could be a whole lot of things going on in your household and in your life that you're not focusing on, you're not paying attention to it, so it doesn't seem prevalent, but that could be also making you feel the way that you're feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot. Are you ever going to use that stuff that Brittany sent? That jar of stuff that's sitting over there? She emailed back and said that it got like it did because of the heat from Florida.
Oh, the melted?
Yep.
I thought it did. I saw it solidifying and I was like, okay, I'm just going to leave it room temperature. I actually forgot that was sitting there. I've been using the scrubs. Last time I took a bath, very nice. I like the way they smell.
Who was that sent this again? What was it? It wasn't Garden of Eden. It was something of Eden. Sense of Eden. What's the thing?
The business cards over in my plant area.
No. Well, we tried to plug you. Sorry, Brittany.
We did. I'm so sorry.
I just saw it sitting there, and
yeah. Every time we're back here, I'm like, oh, I need to grab that and take it to the bathroom. And then I walk out there and I get sidetracked with 40 other things.
Yeah, it's like me leaving cameras on.
I find it so hard to know what these feelings are, because I physically hurt inside if I picture my life without him. Oh, I just read that. Where do I even begin in handling the way I'm feeling? Oh, wow. Where the fuck am I? We play games. I hate feeling like I'm floating and not knowing which direction I'm going next. I have stayed in past relationships.
You read all that.
Don't have much love for myself. Okay. I don't have much love for myself as a mother or a person, so I think I have had a fear of finding it again if it came to it. And I don't know how to determine if that's what I'm going with. Fuck me. And I don't know how to determine if that's what I'm doing here, or if I'm genuinely falling out of love, or if I'm just not feeling myself right now and that's reflecting on the relationship, even if that's okay.
That doesn't sound like she's falling out of love. She literally said in the email that she hurts, it physically hurts her to think about not having him in her life.
Yeah.
That's not the absence of love. It sounds like the absence of intimacy, and what you're going through is that you're not intimate.
Yeah.
You're not sexually intimate.
I would highly recommend getting your hormones checked.
Yeah, me too. Me fucking too. And then maybe seeing a sex therapist.
Yeah.
Yep. Because that doesn't sound like you're not in love. None of that sounds like you're not in love.
It sounds like someone who's really struggling mentally with coping with new feelings of being a mom and how life has changed and how the relationship has changed now that you guys have a third life source that is solely dependent on both of you.
Right.
It's a lot.
Can't wait till we get the studio set up.
Yeah.
Take that key tomorrow.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I gotta go tomorrow. When we get the key, I'm gonna go straight to Home Depot and get a new lock and key code the lock. We have to meet with Adam tomorrow night about the walls.
What time tomorrow night?
I don't know. I told him I would let him know when I got the key, because
Okay.
I have we have shit going on tomorrow. So they're coming to do the inspection for the doors and windows tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
We have shit going on. So, and then we also have the live stream tomorrow that we have to do as well. So at 11.
Tomorrow's going to be a day.
Yep. The reason I brought that up is because on this third camera, every time I look at myself, all I can see is how big I am in the sides and gut. It makes me look like a fat, lazy asshole, and I hate it. But if I have a high angle camera over here, right, like on a C-stand,
Yeah.
so that I have this camera angle and one slightly over, and you have a camera angled like directly on you and one up and slightly over, we can do the camera switch, which keeps people engaged, and I don't have to worry about seeing this. I hate it. I hate being on camera.
I know. I feel the same way, and I know that you hate that I feel that way about me, and I hate the way you feel about you.
Yeah. Also, it'd be like that.
It do be like that.
Yep.
I think you're a prize pony.
I appreciate that. I'm the little fat horse that did the built for Feed, not for speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
I don't know where to start. My husband struggles with how to express emotions and how to understand and handle them. He has some learning difficulties and ADHD, and things can be tough for him to understand and process. As a result of this, I also handle...
Hold on. Is it hard for him to process, or is it you have not found a way to effectively communicate with him?
Possibility.
Because I think that's more likely. It doesn't matter if somebody has ADHD. All of those mental illnesses that people like to use as a general blanket statement to make excuses for something, it removes credibility, it removes accountability, it removes everything. And just like, well, you just have this, so that's just the way it is. That's not how it works. Our son has autism, and we found ways to make things work for him.
Yeah.
You have autism.
I do.
We have borderline. Like, we're both fucking mental nut jobs. We've made it work because we figured out how to talk to each other.
Yeah.
So the issue is not that he has ADHD and doesn't understand. It's that you are not able to effectively communicate with him in a way that he's able to comprehend it. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Not that he has ADHD. Stop using mental illnesses as a fucking crutch. It's not. ADHD can be a superpower, especially when you hyperfixate on things that can make you money.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Why?
Because I think it needs to be said. I mean, I know if we've said it multiple times, but it needs to be repeated.
Yeah.
Very gentle, aggressive reminders of you're more than your mental illnesses.
Yeah. I think my borderline's a superpower. It's definitely a fucking
Hindrance.
cocksucker sometimes. But it is. My borderline is a superpower. It's allowed me to do a lot of things in a lot of ways that other people will never do because of the passion that I have for shit.
I think it's helped me understand a lot of things in life that I otherwise wouldn't be able to.
Were you waiting on me to say something to that?
No, I don't know. I wasn't expecting silence.
I was waiting for more to your story.
I don't know.
I just said, well, okay, fuck it.
When the conversation comes to a natural conclusion, I'm not going to keep going.
I will. And I'll repeat myself 15 times before I realize that I'm doing it. Be like, wait a minute. Okay, I'm doing the Howard Hughes thing.
I wish I could do that. I'm really just that person that goes, okay. Not even just, I get it. I would stop talking too, to be honest.
I don't want to fucking listen to me either.
Accurate. I hate listening to myself. I had to watch my vlog back this morning to remember what I was talking about yesterday before the camera died. And I was like,
Yeah. I get that. I dislike looking at myself so much that when I edit, I have you on the screen and I only have to cut out where you are not talking. So I don't ever have to see myself. I don't know if I'm in frame. Like I check the very beginning and I make all my lighting corrections over the entire file and then put you on the very top so I can just watch you talk and do shit and just clip it. Self-loathing is real.
Yeah.
You know what else I really hate? My fucking laugh. Because we have the podcast running on multiple devices all the time and I can hear myself laugh. I'm like, oh, I hate that.
There are times where I come into the living room at like 5 o'clock in the morning and I lay down and I'm drifting back off to sleep and I hear one of us laughing and the fuck was that? Scares the shit out of me.
Yep. It's the belly laughs that I don't like.
Somebody sent me one of our TikToks and I watched it this morning, whatever the fucking thing that they were talking about. And I'm listening to myself and I'm like, I can't believe I have to fucking do this. And you guys just watch us willingly?
Yeah. People love your voice. They want you to read books for them.
Really?
Yep. It's the Peaches and Chris show.
No. It's to be better.
Yep.
You putting my name first makes me a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had a conversation with somebody yesterday in the premiere about the way the name structures go in writing.
Yeah.
The man's name is supposed to come first. And she was super apologetic. I'm like, I'm not mad. Just telling you so that when you do things in the future, it should always be the man's name first and the woman's. It's proper etiquette in writing, especially when you're talking to a married couple. And I was like, but in doing that, it puts me as a priority over her or her as a priority over me. So it's just to be better. It's not one or the other because you can't have the show without one of us.
Right.
So I think you would do very okay with your own show. Yep.
I don't think so.
I 100% believe that it is you as the host, me as the sidekick in all of this.
I don't feel that way.
You don't have to. Others do.
I don't believe that.
You don't have to. Doesn't change the fact that I do.
Okay.
Body language indicates that you're uncomfortable.
A little bit.
All right, let's get back to the email.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know what to do with my hands. I love that we have a platform. And there are times where I'm super confident and I'm all about it. I don't know. Something about people telling me I'm important after living life like I'm not important. You make me feel important, though. So it's not that bad.
Good save.
You make me feel important.
Good save.
Why is that a good save?
A good save.
I didn't even know I was fumbling the ball.
Yeah, you were definitely tipping that bitch, trying to catch it.
No.
Good save. You caught it, though.
Okay. Love you.
I love you, too.
You should.
Fucker. That was good. You should. That was good.
Back into the email. As a result of this, I also handle everything else in the house. As a result of what? As a result that he has learning difficulties and ADHD and things can be tough for him to understand and process. Okay, so when you say learning difficulties, I'm imagining somebody who cannot function on their own independently for long periods of time.
A learning disability could be dyslexia.
Right. So
it could be a lot of things.
Right. Her next sentence is, as a result of this, I also handle everything in the house.
I think that results in the ADHD because of the pile up shit that people who have extreme ADHD do.
Okay.
But I also don't believe that either because AJ has the worst ADD I've ever fucking seen. Mm-hmm. Trying to have a conversation with him some days is like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, let me speak. When we're actually speaking.
Right.
Like when we went to the restaurant that one night, I couldn't get a fucking word in. He was motor mouthed over there.
I was really enjoying the bread.
Because you didn't have to worry about talking. You were able to eat.
Yeah.
I love you, AJ.
I enjoy AJ as well, guys.
But I know that this motherfucker takes care of 4 kids in his house.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I mean?
And they have animals.
Right.
And
he's able to do it. You just have to find a way that works for them. This comes down to not letting your disability be an excuse. Make it a superpower. Figure out the way that makes things work and then attack the shit.
You know, I've also heard AJ talk about how he has certain things implemented. Or maybe you've told me about some of the things that he has implemented.
Well, he has like whiteboards and notepads and like...
Right. So he has systems in place visually so he can go, yes.
Yep.
I've sidetracked for 45 minutes. The thing.
Yep.
I just wanted to point that out. Like you were saying, dyslexia is not going to inhibit somebody from mopping the floor.
Right.
So depending on the extent of the learning disabilities or the learning difficulties, if somebody is, you know, in their 40s processing mentally at the age of 15, I can understand how there could be some frustration there. And
right, having a TBI or something.
Right, having to pick up slack in that. TBI, thank you. So as a result of this, I also handle everything else in the house, which I'm happy to do as it's part of our relationship. He works long hours to keep a roof above our heads, and he comes home and helps me clean and tidy. But I can handle all the mentally challenging stuff as he doesn't know how and won't learn as much as he wants to.
So she's a stay-at-home mom.
From my understanding.
And he's working and she's taking care of the house thing. So why is this even a problem? Why is this even a part of the email?
Yeah, I was just questioning.
Does she go to work with him when he goes to work to help him do whatever he does at work?
I don't believe so, no.
Then he shouldn't have to come home and do what she's supposed to be doing at home. That's how teamwork works. He should be doing all the man jobs. She should be doing all the pink jobs while he's providing a living for her and the kid. Mm-hmm. So for him to have to come home and have to mop the floor or do dishes or do that shit, like, that shouldn't be a thing. I don't give a fuck how people feel about me saying that. I truly believe that. I don't make you do my job.
No.
I never ask you to edit. I never ask you to fucking contact people. The extent of business is like, hey, we have a meeting. I want you to come with me, or can you run to the bank?
Yeah.
That's
or like,
it.
Hey, I need this from Home Depot or whatever.
Right. When you're already out.
Yeah, plant shopping or something.
And the meeting thing is only because I want you to be involved because it's our lives. I want you to understand what's happening. And that way I don't have to relay things back. You're fucking there.
Right. I also like to think that I can provide like useful information.
You can, but it's one of those things that's my department. I don't ever ask you to work when you do those things. I just want you there to experience it. I don't know. If you're a stay-at-home wife and you're doing the stay-at-home mom thing and your man is working full-time and providing and he's doing his jobs around the house, whatever those job duties are defined as, maybe his job is to do the dishes.
Right.
There are certain things that like I'm not fucking doing. Dishes being one of them. If I have to hand wash dishes, we are eating off of fucking paper plates and drinking out of Solo cups.
Yeah.
I'm not doing dishes. I will fucking throw away every plate in this fucking house. And I'll never wash a dish. We'll DoorDash every fucking day. I'm not doing it. But if I had to do laundry, I don't give a fuck. I'll do laundry. Like, so there could be that dynamic in their household. But if you are that stay-at-home mom or wife, your complaint should be, I need a couple hours of self-care.
Yeah.
I need a break from the kid. Just say that. It's not that you need a break. I love how they always say, well, I need a break. I work so hard. I need a break. What you're really saying is that you're tired of your fucking semen demon.
Right.
And you need to get away from them for a little bit because they're unruly or they're crying and whiny and you're not parenting and like making that situation a functional household. Kids get under your skin. Even if you are doing the functional household thing and you're doing everything right, they can still get fucking annoying. And sometimes you just need to get away from them because otherwise they start to look like a football.
I want to say a football.
I would, because it was funny.
Yes, children definitely. I have looked at our children in the face and say, I need 5 minutes away from you please.
I have gotten in the habit of treating our son like a football.
Yeah. I see you picking him up and shit.
Well, he'll be walking and I'll do that to his butt while he's walking. He's always like...
That little hand movement was perfect.
His whole body goes forward and he always looks back and he's like...
The little...
Yeah.
I'm going to do. I can't wait until you can learn how to like spider monkey up you or something.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I think probably in the next 2 or 3 years, there's going to be attacks as I walk through the house. Attacks. Like he's already thinking he's a ninja and trying to be sneaky. And when he realizes he can be sneaky,
yeah,
there will be times where I'm going to be walking through the house and I'm going to get jumped on by a 7 or 8 year old and put into a chokehold. And yep, it'll be a thing. I'm ready for it.
I'm very excited for you guys.
Yeah. I don't remember what you're talking about.
I remember what I was talking about. Moms feel bad saying I need a break from my fucking kids, so they don't say that.
Why?
Because you feel guilty. You're supposed to be the loving, nurturing, we don't hate children.
It's not
we don't hate children.
Right.
But they're fucking annoying.
Do you think that comes down to admitting that you're a bad parent? Because if your kids are too much and you can't handle them, and you can't parent properly, of course they're going to be that way.
I'm going to say yes. I think that there are certain circumstances, for example, children who are nonverbal, who have a very hard time communicating and can have meltdowns because they're not understood. That's a different situation. There are moments where both of the kids are just whining, doing everything they shouldn't be doing, and I'm at my wit's end. And clearly I'm not authoritative enough for them to listen to me because I am that soft, nurturing parent and I give in and I'll tell them no and they'll look at me and be like, Mommy, I'll be like, and they see that hesitation. They see that I'm about to break. Even though I might stand firm and be like, no, they saw me be like, oh, I almost had her. Yeah. So, yes, I do think that does boil down in some I think that it does boil down to, in certain situations, you could be viewed as the pushover parent. And kids will do anything that they can do to get what they want.
Right.
They will go through multiple tools, like how in communication we go through multiple tools to get to where we need to get for a resolution. They're going to go through whatever they need to get to what they want. There are times I got to call you in. Be like, I'm blood, sweat, and tears over here. I am tapped out. I need a white towel and someone needs to spray water in my mouth. You got to get in there.
Yeah.
And you just dad voice it. You come out and you're like, oh, you're still sweating? Okay. And you're just...
It's one of those, it's not hard to, I mean, it is. It's overwhelming for a lot of people, but once you establish a behavior pattern and that is the norm for them, that's always going to be the norm for them.
Yeah.
I have no problem disrupting their behavior patterns because I don't care if they like me. I don't.
Yeah.
I know my kids love me. They don't have to like me in the moment. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But when I'm like, want to go to the garbage can with me? And he's like, yeah. And runs and jumps in the truck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have seen him throwing boxes out of the back of the pickup truck into the dumpster the other day.
Oh, he was so excited to tell me.
He missed every single box. He threw one and they got close and I smacked it in. I'm like, good job, bro. He was afraid to stand on the tailgate because he's got that fear of heights.
Yeah, he thought he was going to fall.
Yep. He threw away the little super worm box and I had him stand like I was in front of him and he threw it over my head.
Yeah.
And it hit the lid and fell to the ground. I was like, dude, you almost had it. And he was like this far away from it. It just happened to hit the lid. And because I'm holding it like this, you know?
Right.
Otherwise I'd have lifted it up a little higher.
He was so excited about that trip with you.
Yep.
You're such a good dad.
Kids are something.
They're a lot of fun.
They can be. They're a lot. They're a handful sometimes.
They're
too,
a lot. Like at 3 a.m. They're a lot.
Need to get a Nerf gun. And when they come to the door and they're like, I want my TV on, just like, get one of the Nerf rivals that shoot the little balls. Those things hurt. They hit you in the eye.
Oh my God.
Forrest shot me in the eye with one of those things one day and gave me a black eye. Yeah. Yeah. He was like, from me to you. And he aimed it at me. I was like, don't you fucking do it. He's hit me right in the fucking eye, dude.
I would have kicked him right in his cock.
Yeah. He's just out of kicking range, but it was funny. It hurt, but it was funny.
I've been so fucking mad.
That's
point blank.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I also shot him with a t-shirt cannon. So, I mean.
Oh, context.
Right. I'm that friend. I almost killed Kyle with that thing. Did you ever hear about that?
Right, you got him in the throat, right?
Yeah. Hit him right in the side of the neck. He went down like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
The people that were around left. They're like, oh shit, time to go. And I walked over and I was like, you okay? And he's like, why in the neck? And started giggling. I'm like, oh, thank fucking God he's breathing. Fucking 200 PSI right to the throat.
You could have shattered anything. There's a little piece of bone in there.
Yeah, I've watched that video in slow motion and it hits his collarbone and bounces to his neck. So like the collarbone took the impact. But he went down. That was the last time I played with the t-shirt cannon. It's in the garage. That t-shirt was taped up in a perfect size, like a can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My body just wants to go.
It shoots cans of soda really, really well. Unopened cans. Yeah. Yep.
Wow. How far?
Pretty far.
Amazing.
Like a block. You remember
Oh my God.
You remember where Old Poppin' was? How
Yeah.
that had that turn? It would shoot to the turn from the parking lot. Yeah.
I could not imagine just being putzing around outside my house, gardening or something. Maybe midday, but bees are buzzing, little birds tweeting, and all of a sudden just fucking can out of nowhere into my tomatoes.
Yep.
Terrifying.
Steve owed Tim $300 or something one point for a PlayStation. No, it was the other way around. Tim owed Steve. And we filled that t-shirt cannon up with $300 worth of ones and shot Steve with it. There's fucking ones in the drop ceiling stuck in there, like hanging out. Yeah, yeah.
I love that.
Stupidity.
We did that to get the concealed carry. We did that class or whatever that was. And at the end of the class, we had one of those airsoft.
Yeah, it shoots chalk.
Right. Well, it wasn't chalk. It was like little pellets or something. We were shooting at the target. And I don't know how we got onto the topic of we should shoot somebody with it, but we did. And of course, I volunteered myself. And I'm standing at the edge of the thing, and this guy's like, don't sue me if something goes wrong. I was like, okay. And like, he's hyping it up like, this is going to fucking hurt. And like, I'm facing away, and I'm like, don't be a bitch. You got like 8 people standing over there, like, you're committed to the fucking joke. You can't back out now. And everything in me was screaming, don't do it. But the back of my mind was like, finish the joke. So we did. And my friend took the gun and she shot me, and it bounced off my booty cheek. And I was like, I turned around, I was like, that wasn't that bad. I was fully prepared to be like shot with like a rubber bullet.
Yeah.
Like,
Ugh, riot rounds hurt. Bean bags and rubber bullets are not fun.
I'm here for the stupidity though. Like, if we ever want to do jackass shit, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, after the chip experience, I'm good on that shit. I'm good on that.
The adventure in me's here for it.
Yeah.
Ripping my pinky off while ziplining. Let's go.
We can get some of the really, really hot stuff if you want to eat some dumb shit. Get one of those the spicy apple things that John Hogan has.
Spicy apple?
It's an apple chip covered in peppers. It's like the Granny Apple Challenge or some shit like that. I don't know. It's like one of the world's hottest challenges. It's supposed to be 10 times hotter than the Packy chip. Yep.
I felt like a hole was being burned through my esophagus.
Yeah, shit's hot.
With the chip. Starting to like sweat just thinking about it. We side railed a lot.
Yeah, we did. I don't remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about how hard it is for moms to just say, I need a break from my kid.
Oh, yeah. Well, we covered all that, so
Okay.
we can get back into it.
Back into the email.
We're at an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun again, isn't it?
I'm having fun, yeah. You know, I had my massive cry yesterday, too. That was nice.
Yeah.
Cried again this morning at 3 o'clock. I really need to get that out of my system.
Yeah, I know, because it woke me up.
Was it really that bad?
It was loud. You were sob crying out there.
I was trying my best to not be loud. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I was that loud. I'm so sorry. Mental breakdown, guys.
It'd be like that.
Sleep deprivation is not a fun thing.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna start crying. I'm really hoping I can sleep tonight. I'm sorry.
Just take some melatonin and some of that ashwagandha before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Yep. I think your cortisol is high. I mean, we know from your labs that your cortisol is fucking like 400 points higher than it should be.
Yeah.
So your body's in fight or flight, which is why you're not able to shut your brain off. That's factual.
Yeah.
And the ashwagandha and melatonin together will lower cortisol levels. Levels.
I'm just worried in taking that. I'm not going to wake up if she wakes up.
I will. I woke up with her peeking into the bedroom last night. I have no problem giving you that smack. Because they won't deal with me. In the middle of the night, they want mommy.
I don't want to cry in there in bed. All by yourself, scared. See, this is the me problem, guys.
Yeah,
this
is exactly you teaching them that behavior is acceptable.
I know it's hard for me. There was a point where I would wake up with her, she would fall asleep on the couch, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going back to bed, and she'd say, okay, and I would go back to bed. I think me being so exhausted, it's an excuse, but me being so exhausted, I would lay down with her out there, and I would just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna sleep here. Like, I'm already falling asleep. If I get back up and go back into bed, I'm gonna be awake for another hour.
Yep.
I should have done it, though.
Next time she's doing that and she's crying, just make her go to bed. She's got her own bedroom now. She's not gonna wake up her brother.
Yeah.
We'll hear it. I'll sleep through that shit.
Used to be a super light sleeper.
Yeah. Yep. Used to be.
I like that you're sleeping heavily now.
It's fucking weird. It's really weird. I don't know what's going on. I honestly don't know. It used to be when people are trying to be quiet, it wakes me up. Like when they're trying to sneak into the bedroom, I'm awake as soon as they get near the door because they're trying to be quiet. I feel like somebody's trying to sneak up on me. I feel like Major Payne. You trying to creep up on me, boy? You plotting on me, boy? That's what he said.
Yeah.
You plotting on me, boy?
You plotting on me, boy?
All right, email.
Okay.
Pay attention.
Sorry.
Your focus needs more focus.
I'm trying. I handle all the mentally challenging stuff as he doesn't know how and won't learn as much as he said he wants to. I try to help and teach him. He doesn't take it in. I think the mental load is weighing me down and he's offered to go shopping for me, but he doesn't have confidence in himself and doesn't trust himself. So he just FaceTimes me anyway, asking which one and telling me to point it out even though I send screenshots. Okay, so if this was this doesn't develop 19 months after having a child.
Right.
This is somebody's long-term characteristics. This was who he was before you got married. Or are you guys married? What did you say?
Well, he would have been, that's who he was before he had a baby either way.
Right. So I'm going to be honest. I got nothing on that.
So what I was saying was, is this he was this way before the baby was born.
Right.
This is just who he is, and the simple. So is this extreme codependency that they've talked about, like, right? Or is this one of those things where he's just that afraid of disappointing you that he's trying to make sure that everything is right? Because how have you reacted to him not having it right in the past?
Does say it could be a trauma response. Yeah.
Right. It could be a childhood trauma response. So why not just be like, I trust you, get whatever you think is right, and then just let it be right, even if it's not right. Because if he gets the wrong brand of something, how big of a deal is it really that he got the wrong brand?
As long as what you needed.
Right.
If we're out of toilet paper and you bring home toilet paper and it's not Charmin, I'm glad we have toilet paper.
Ooh, man, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, I usually do the shopping, so
What
I
was it that you said? Some of you have more higher quality preferences in toilet paper than you do in the people you fuck.
Yes.
You said that.
I did say that.
Or a
yeah.
variation of that.
I did.
Higher standards of toilet paper than partners. Something along the lines of that. It's Charmin or bust.
So I understand that for you. Okay, so that's not a good example.
I was thinking like you could have Hellman's or Duke mayonnaise as mayonnaise. But there are people out there who are going to feel the same way. Get it, babe.
Oh, can I? I didn't. Could you imagine if I did, though?
We'd been 1 for 1.
Fucker. No, I got super close to my face.
It's not going to hurt you.
I don't like it. What if it goes in my nose?
Then it'll get stuck in your nostril hairs.
I'm super worried about insects entering my orifices. Very real fear for me. I did say that, yeah. Black beans. Some people prefer like the Hispanic brand of black beans, and some people get the Publix brand of black beans. As long as it's black beans, still make whatever we're making. I think it doesn't matter.
So we really just had to find something that we can use as an example because I was very hard up on the Charmin thing, and you weren't about the other mayonnaise. Like, is that really what we're doing? Is that what just happened on the podcast? We had to find something that's just like fuck it, whatever. So that
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even remember your mayonnaise one. No, that wasn't like a fuck you to your example. I'm gonna be honest. I totally forgot that you said it. My apologies.
I was like, do you have a mayonnaise preference that I don't know about? Because it's a Hellman's thing for me. I have a preference. I want Hellman's, but if there's Duke in the fucking refrigerator and that's all there is, I'm gonna eat that shit. I'm not saying nothing about it.
You actually had to do that because
After a while, I did. Yeah,
I bought Dukes. Yeah.
What is this yellow top jar of shit?
I don't even think you let it ride.
I think
you
I did.
pulled it out of the bag and you were like, "What is this?" Deeply offended that it wasn't Hellman's. And I was like, "There's a difference," and you're like, "Of course, there's a difference."
Yeah, one's got a blue lid and the other one's yellow.
I was like, noted. I have a notepad in my phone with everything about you. Your favorite grilled cheese sandwich, what you get when you go to Taco Bell, your mayonnaise preference. Fuck lettuce on everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't eat lettuce.
And anytime you order something from Tijuana Flats, make it wet.
Always with Chipotle.
Yep, that is now in my notes.
You chose this life.
What life? What is happening? Why are you...
My OCD of nonsense.
I love my life.
Very weird about my brands. It's stupid.
You know what I love about it, though?
It's easy.
No, I mean, yeah, but I know it makes you tick.
Yeah.
Can't get rid of me now. Think I'm going to share that list with somebody? No. I know it's still death do us part, but that just kind of fucking solidifies it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I got like 100 notes in there.
That's pretty funny.
Your brand of socks that you like.
Yeah.
Just in case I have to like surprise you with a gift. You're a very hard man to shop for, and I always know you need socks.
Don't ever fucking buy me socks or
no.
underwear. Ladies, I know, and like kids, I know that you think that your dad enjoys those gifts or your husband enjoys those gifts. Don't fucking buy us socks and underwear or a tie or cufflinks.
I wouldn't do
Or
it
a
as like
new
a
wallet.
birthday present.
Just don't do that.
Okay.
Let us buy that stuff for ourselves because we will wear our favorite pair of underwear until they're falling the fuck apart and then finally commit to buying another pair. When you guys buy us new underwear and the old ones are in the drawer, we feel obligated to throw away the old ones or not wear them as much. And some of us have favorite pairs of underwear.
Okay. I didn't know that was a thing. And I didn't know that gifting you new underwear would make you feel obligated to throw away your old favorite pair.
Mhm.
That's good to know.
I'm also really weird about my underwear, but that's a whole different thing.
I didn't mean I'd buy you
Texture issues.
socks for your birthday.
Yeah.
It'd be like, hey, I was out shopping and I got you your favorite pair of socks because I saw you were low. Didn't have to think about it. One less decision for you.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you know what kind of socks I wear.
Yeah.
Just don't ever buy them for me for a holiday.
No, I would never do that. That's the end of that email. She apologizes for it being all over the place and would love our wisdom. You need a break.
Yep.
And it's okay to say, I am overwhelmed as a mom. Child under my skin. There was a point with our daughter where she was cluster feeding and I was in a chair for 12 hours a day just breastfeeding her. I would get up to use the restroom or I'd get up to get myself something to eat. And for those 5 or 10 minutes where I'm not holding her, it was just screaming, crying. And that happened for weeks on end.
So what you're saying is at her age of 4, she's still doing that. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Mm-hmm.
Listen, you could pull me aside and tell me that.
Just obviously just not the breastfeeding part. Yep. If you were to fart, your daughter would suffocate. No oxygen.
Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. No, you're right. I see it. I see it. This is the part of life that's so fucking exhausting for me.
Why?
Because now that I recognize that it is a pattern that literally has been going on since her birth.
That you haven't broke.
That I have not broke. I now have to work on not only reversing that for her, I have to get myself into the habit of doing it. And I also have to get myself into a mental space of I'm not abusing my child when I let her cry for 10 or 15 minutes.
Yep.
I am so fearful due to my childhood. I know my childhood was extreme. I understand that. And it is very...
Push that away a little bit. There you go.
It is very rare for a child to experience a childhood like that. Because of my childhood, I am so fucking scared of doing anything to the children that is going to be perceived as me not wanting them or just anything negative. Very hard for me. So now I also have to get over that mental hurdle. And my BPD's kicking. All right. Tea party, guys. You're going to figure this out. Get the finger sandwiches.
Where's the Mad Hatter?
It's me. My physical form. All of us combined, we're the Mad Hatter. So this email is titled, A Girlfriend Trying to Grow. And I don't know if we've read this yet or not, but that sounds familiar to me, so we'll see.
Not to me.
Hello, Chris and Peaches. Originally, I found you on TikTok, but I'm now a follower on YouTube where I binge listen to your videos while I work at my desk job. I am a non-traditional woman. I, at first, was hesitant of your podcast and wondered if I could learn anything from it, since it's not the lifestyle I live. I'm glad I started listening because I believe your content has helped to make me a better and more mindful partner to my significant other. As you say in your disclaimer, I will try to be as detailed as possible. For starters, my name is A. I am 24 years old, female, and my partner and I have been together for 4 years and will be 5 years in December. My partner is a 25-year-old male who works full-time at a well-known tire company in the U.S. as a marketing manager. I work as a full-time paralegal, and we have no breadwinner in our household. We both make the same amount of money, but his is a more manual labor job while I work a desk job. Is there really like bonuses and whatnot? PTO, do you think it would really equal out to the same exact amount?
I don't know. I was that doesn't really matter to me as much because when I hear there's no breadwinner, it doesn't matter who makes more money.
Yeah.
Because their bills are evenly paid at that point. Like even if they're close, even if they're within 10 grand a year, they're close enough. What I heard is that he is physically
doing more,
and he's got a physical exhaustion where she's got a mental exhaustion, and then those
Correct.
things will butt heads. because he's going to be able to make decisions at the end of the night where she's going to be exhausted mentally. But if he has a honey-do list that he's got to do, he's not going to want to do that shit because he's going to be exhausted physically. So there's going to be an ebb and flow there that's going to be unlike most households.
I wonder if she also includes what hours they work.
Yeah. Well, no, keep reading.
Because she said full time, so I'm assuming she works 40 hours a week. But if he's doing like full time and overtime.
Yeah.
So we both make the same amount of money. His is more manual and I work desk. This affects how we divvy up our household chores. While I also work full time, I take on more of the household chores. I do all of the household cleaning, cooking, grocery shopping, taking care of the dogs, watering the flowers, the lawn, etc. My partner takes care of the trash, mowing the lawn, and our car upkeep. We both do our own laundry. I will do his for him sometimes when I need clothes for a load. But he doesn't like to do my laundry because he worries he will ruin my nice work clothes, which I actually think is very considerate. As he is such a gentleman, that he insists that if I spend the time to cook him a nice homemade meal that he can enjoy when he gets off of work, that he wants to show his appreciation by cleaning up the dishes after. October 2022, we bought our first home together where we now live after living with our parents for the first 3 years of our relationship. He is truly an overall amazing partner who I love very much. I understand that our dynamic has a very strong foundation. I am just hoping for the both of us to continue to grow and work on our relationship. Now into the purposes of my email. I am a very reactive person. I did therapy for 3 years consecutively, and I was able to improve and build coping mechanisms for my anxiety and depression. I also am a very reactive person. It is very hard. I used to never reel myself in. It was always I would see massive blow-ups growing up, so I thought that shit was okay. If you loved me, you would fucking put up with it.
Yeah. I don't think that there is ever a time where it is acceptable to be reactive to anything unless it's
life-saving.
Even then,
Yeah.
Even then, a response is going to give you a better outcome than a reaction.
Okay.
If you see an animal lunge at you and you jump out of the way as a reaction, that is acceptable reaction behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Even in a situation where there's a very big problem or a life-threatening scenario with other people, a response is going to be a lot better than a knee-jerk reaction.
Right.
Sometimes that is all you have time for is to react.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have training and you react, it could get you killed. So a response is always better. It's just one of those things that you have to train yourself to respond to a situation. That's where that OODA loop comes in.
Yeah. I like to think now that I take more time in responding versus reacting. That was a very hard thing to learn to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are even times now where I can feel myself getting worked up and I don't recognize it, but when I do, I'm like, oh fuck. And I take a deep breath, and that deep breath, I can feel the boiling water simmering down. I'm like, okay, now I can respond to the situation versus react. Yeah, respond is a good way to put that.
Have you ever heard the phrase slow is smooth and smooth is fast?
Yes.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a immediate gratification.
Mm.
Don't do shit anymore. Everything is right now.
Yeah.
Prime and have it overnight. You can order shit and have it delivered same day. We don't have to wait for a whole lot of anything anymore. Mm. And we live in an existence where everything is immediate. Immediate responses to emails, immediate responses to text messages. So we want to, in terms of an argument or conflict, we want immediate resolution. And we forget sometimes that it's acceptable to slow down.
Yeah.
Have a smooth conversation. And it'll be a much faster scenario than us arguing for 3 fucking hours because we're just trying to point, and then get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I try not to ever just simply react to anything. Try to not simply react to anything. Sometimes I react.
Yeah. Well, can you repeat the things you were just saying? You said something and I had a train, and then you said something else. And I lost sight of that train because you said something else, and I was like, ooh, that was a really good point. Can you bullet point the things you just said?
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Okay.
We live in an instant gratification world.
Yes.
Arguments should be thought about before spoken.
Okay, I'm going to pause you there. Okay, it's coming back to me. Okay. So the instant gratification. You were saying that people need to come to the terms with it's okay to have time between things. Unless you're my husband, you don't hear back from me almost immediately,
Right.
like rarely ever. You really are the only person who has unfiltered, unlimited access to me, besides like the kids' school or whatever. I was gonna say the kids' dad, but really that's only when the kids are here.
Right.
When the kids aren't here, unless I'm reaching out and be like, how the kids are doing, or we sending photos back and forth. If you call me and I can't answer right away, I'm not gonna answer right away. I'm gonna text you, and unless it's an emergency, it can wait. You call me, I don't care where I'm at. I'm answering that phone. Hey, I'll call you right back. Whatever. Or if I was in the middle of something, I call you right back immediately, or I send you a text message. I have lost friends over that. Like me not responding right away. I will let a message sit in my phone for a day or two until I am mentally at a place to handle a prolonged conversation with somebody. I'm not willing to put myself in a position where I can't give somebody the best version of myself just because they want to have a conversation in that moment.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of a shitty thing and on multiple facets. It's shitty that you're not able to just do that, but it's also shitty for people to expect your life to be as slow as theirs is.
What do you mean it's shitty that I can't just do that?
Because people who interact with you like that want to have that conversation with you, and they want to have the back and forth, and they want to be engaged and involved with you, right? So like, I'm gonna use my sister as an example because she texts me all the time.
Yeah.
And it'll be like 8 hours before she gets a response sometime. She texted me yesterday, I haven't responded yet.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing shit. And if I have to stop what I'm doing to pay attention to a conversation, even if it's to stop editing for 15 seconds to respond to a text and then get back into editing, my workflow is getting broken up.
Right.
Though I believe I can multitask, I would rather dedicate my attention to one thing to completion.
Yeah.
Because if I dedicate that one thing to completion, it's going to get done in a quarter of the time. Whereas if I'm pausing this, playing this, editing this, pausing this, doing this, reading my, you know what I mean? Like all of those breaks is slowing down this process. And if I dedicate myself to this one thing with my phone on Do Not Disturb, then when I'm done, I can move on to the next thing. And I'm much more efficient that way. Multitasking isn't real.
No, it's not.
You're doing multiple things at once, and it's slowing down the things that you should be focusing on. So it comes down to prioritizing things.
Right.
So those conversations to you aren't a priority because of the other things that you have going on in your life. People want to feel like they're a priority in your life, and that's why the relationship suffers. You don't understand how busy we are. And if I was like, hey, I'm busy, and you're like, that's okay, and you just stop trying to talk to me, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I obviously don't have time to talk to you on your terms. And if you're not okay with me responding to you when I have the time to actually have a conversation with you instead of giving you one-word replies, it's a different scenario.
Yeah.
So
I am a very much in-person type of relationship.
yeah, I actually enjoy in-person interactions a lot better too, but
also my lisp is getting worse.
no, it's not.
It is. I
Just-
can't.
Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Slow it the fuck down, babe.
I was going to try to say that phrase, but now I'm scared.
Sima.
In that same breath, though, when I don't respond for 2 or 3 days because my life is just fucking nonstop, I will photobomb people with 10 or 15 photos, be like, hey, here's a life update.
Yeah.
Word vomit. I'm thinking about you, love you. And then it might be another 2 or 3 weeks before we have another super in-depth conversation. I'm not that person. I used to force myself to be that person who was the people person and was always in constant contact with people. My life suffered so much because of it. Yeah.
Social batteries.
I learned in therapy that my anxiety manifests in angry outbursts instead of your traditional panic attacks. In truly bad outbursts, it would result in a panic attack after where I'd begin hyperventilating. It is much better than it used to be, but I am still more reactive than I would like to be. When I react, I end up being a version of myself that I don't like, and I feel shame when it happens toward my partner. I end up spiraling and breaking down most times, which also makes me feel embarrassed that my partner has to see me like that. Peaches, your emotional maturity and patience is something that I aspire to. You're so soft with your approach and tone of voice. You have such a delicate approach while still being commanding, confident, and heard. I resort to raising my voice and changing my tone at times. I know these are not good qualities and aren't a healthy form of communication with my partner. I know this comes from a place of not feeling understood and heard by my family in my childhood. We yelled in my household. I don't want that for us.
Then change it.
Yeah.
Everything about that sounds like she's not taking, she's taking accountability for it, but simply saying that this is an apology with no change.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is. Don't tell me you're sorry. Show me. I want to see effort. I want to see things happening that actually proves to me that your behavior is going to change. Because if your behavior doesn't change and you're just apologizing, you're a fucking liar. It doesn't matter. And I don't care about all the trauma. I don't care about the life experience that's happened up until this point. The way that you handle situations is a choice.
Right.
Even if that choice is that you are choosing not to do anything to improve it, you are making a choice. Yep.
I agree. I have not always been this I have not always been this person.
See how easy it is when you slow down?
I'm really trying. My brain's just fucking deep breath. The fact that you saw that, I'm a little bit embarrassed. I very much am a mess
Yeah.
today.
Yes. Yes, you are. I'm just glad that I'm not a mess with you. Yesterday sucked.
Love that you're not a mess. Was hoping you'd say I'm a hot mess or something, but
You're definitely hot.
yeah, so I haven't always been this person. I used to get angry and yell and call names and degrade and throw things in the past in the people's faces and be like, yeah, but you did this 6 months ago, even though you haven't done it then. Since then, you did it. So fuck you for that. On top of the other thing I'm upset about. And that shit would last for days. Like,
Yeah. How did that serve you?
it didn't. Every single relationship I've been in has failed.
Yeah, there you go. Because of
What
the
I'm
way
doing now, though, is working.
because of the way you behaved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I decided to change that because I can't. I know I've said this before. I'm going to say it again, and I can't believe I'm saying it again. There really was a moment where, in you and I dating, things were getting serious, and it dawned on me. I was like, this man's not going to put up with my bullshit. I was like, okay, like I know I've been working on myself, but like I still really have a lot that I need to get done before I can fully commit myself to this man. Because like you didn't need that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start crying. That was a really big fucking moment for me. Like, I attribute a lot of my growth to you being the catalyst to it.
It's kind of humbling to hear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why?
Because I don't want that to become an ego thing.
What do you mean?
Because it would be very easy for me to be like, that's right. I'm the fucking man. She changed her life for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but instead I choose the route of humility in that and knowing that like, I don't know. I am not going to allow that to be an ego thing for me. It's humbling.
Yeah.
Humility is not the right word. It's humbling. Like to know that like you view me in such a light and I don't view me in that light at all. So it's a humbling experience.
Yeah. I also want to point out, I know these people are emailing us. It always just takes me, oh, Peaches, that's me. Hey. Oh, you're talking to me directly now. All right. It's always a moment of, that's right. I'm that person.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
I don't want that for us, but when things get rough, I become overwhelmed and frustrated. I fall back into these old habits. So in those moments, you know when that shit's building up.
Yep.
I feel that shit building up. I can feel myself getting anxious and I start fiddling with things and I'm not making eye contact and fucking getting up there. And I start taking deep breaths and I pay attention to my tone of voice. That's the first thing I do. Pay attention to my tone of voice. And if my voice is escalated, I bring that bitch down to a whisper. Like, I am not fixing to talk to my man that way because I'm fucking emotional. Come on. There are times that I don't catch it. And you do have to reel me back into reality. But when you hit me with, we don't talk like that, I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yep.
And it comes back down immediately. If you need to walk away, you need to walk away. If you need a minute and you're too overwhelmed and the lights are too bright and the dishwasher's going and you can't stand the fact that everybody's breathing in the same room, say, I need a minute and go outside. Listen to the wind for a second. do anything else besides raising your voice.
Yep.
At times, I feel like the weight on the mental/emotional side of our relationship sits on my shoulders. Therapy taught me how to take a pause and take a step back. My partner and I also have a safe word when the arguments and discussions are going too far and we need to stop and step away from the conversation. The safe word is flamingos. It's supposed to make us laugh and diffuse the situation. Problem still is when I am not in an emotional/mentally good place, I don't practice these things appropriately. Like the safe word?
She knows that she's the problem.
Okay. My partner has never been to therapy, has difficulty speaking on and about his emotions, and bottles up his emotions until he explodes. We both do this, so you can imagine how this has become volatile and toxic at times. He has never raised his voice at me, ever. I believe I have worn him down and caused so much frustration within him that he now resorts to yelling too.
She just said that he's never raised his voice at her.
But now he's yelling.
And now
too.
he's yelling.
There is very much a thing called reactive trauma. This is the kind of thing where she hasn't worked through her trauma in childhood, so now she's causing trauma to another human being. And this is something that he has never experienced in his life before, so he's adapting to the situation, and now he's becoming toxic too.
Right.
This is why it's so important to fix your shit and work on your demons before you get into another relationship, because you will damage another human being.
Yep.
This will not be an easy bounce back from not just you at this point. Now he has to be involved in the bounce back too. So he now resorts to yelling too. I would yell back eventually myself if someone was yelling at me. I feel like I would end up taking on more of the mental burden, and I have to take on the role of not just maneuvering through my own emotional hellscape, but his as well. Did she say how long they've been together?
That's normal though.
Navigating the hellscape?
Yeah.
That we did that yesterday.
That is normal behavior for people who are married or in love and together. It's not about you anymore. If you live your marriage as me, your marriage is fucking doomed.
Mm-hmm.
That statement says a lot. You just told us both in that email that you're not a team.
I'm going to reread that sentence. I feel like I end up taking on more of the mental burden, and I have to take on the role of not just maneuvering my own emotional hellscape, but his as well.
Yeah, you do. That's marriage.
Yeah. Every action I take, I go down. It's like looking at a fucking map. It's one river that branches off into thousands of them. And I have to think about every action I take, how it's going to affect my mental health and our future, and how it's going to affect your mental health and our future. And there's only 100% in this. If there's only 50% of this of a benefit and it's only for me, it's not going to fucking happen.
Right.
It could benefit the podcast. If it's going to be detrimental to your mental health, I'm not fucking doing it. You're right. Navigating that hellscape certainly is a natural, healthy part of the relationship. Well, it should be a healthy part of the relationship. This is not healthy.
Yeah.
If you say that sentence and your intention is meaning that he does not do that and you are the only one who takes consideration of the mental burden you're both going through, that's a problem.
But is that the case? Because he's allowed her to yell at him and manipulate their arguments to the point where he is now a yeller.
Right.
So the way that he has always dealt with things and navigated that emotional shit is now a matched energy.
So the hypothetical that I just gave,
right?
I do believe that to be the case. That he is not trying to navigate her mental health anymore as well. And even though it's not right, because of everything you just said, he's now yelling. Why would he want to?
Right, but isn't that him navigating her emotional shit instead of ignoring it?
By shutting down, or
no, he's matching that energy. He's giving her what she's giving him because him giving her what he's always given her hasn't changed the way that she deals with the situation. It wasn't working. So now he's yelling and they're blowing up on each other to try to find conflict resolution because the way he was navigating those waters and that emotional shit wasn't fucking working. You train people how to deal with you. So if you were a yeller all the fucking time and I am logic brain talking to you and you're still screaming at me, what do I do next? Because me talking to you like a normal human being is not
working.
It's not the answer. And if me fucking blowing up and screaming and yelling at you is what gets you to fucking stop, and we eventually start talking because you realize now that I'm losing my shit, you've now trained me that that's how I got to reel you the fuck in.
How terrible. Like, what an escalation.
Yeah.
So I wanted to clarify. I had a whole thing in my mind that I just recognized I did not articulate. So in me saying that, you know, why would he want to navigate her hellscape of a mind? If I was somebody who was in a relationship with somebody else whose go-to was just aggressive, yelling, whatever, and I am now escalated to that point as well because everything else has not worked, I would be matching that energy, but I'm also withdrawing emotionally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't care that you're upset at me. I don't care that you're yelling at me. I'm yelling at you because this is how you treat me.
And I'm tired of it.
And I'm tired of it. I have to really work with him to be able to voice how he feels. And sometimes he will just say, I don't know how I feel. I don't know if this is true or if I've made him feel like this, like it is unsafe to share his emotions with me. When you don't want to share something with me, I've never thought I've made him feel unsafe with his emotions. He's not ready to talk about it. He's still processing. Maybe it's just something that's like it's too dark and it would just hurt me, even though it's not going to be a real thing. Like fucking thoughts are bad. Intrusive thoughts are fucking rough. And if you don't want to share that with me, I understand it.
Right.
If you have to ask yourself, have I made him feel unsafe in sharing his emotions with me? You probably have. If that question is even being posed, the answer is probably yes. How can I teach my partner to meet me in the middle on taking on the emotional/mental burden in our household so we can better our communication?
By learning to properly communicate.
Mm-hmm. The emails are bleeding together. So they both work full time. His is more mentally, his is physically taxing. Right. Hers is mentally taxing. Okay. This is not the 19-month-old.
Nope.
Okay. Also, my partner never cries. I have seen him cry twice in the almost 5-year-long relationship. At his grandma's funeral, and we were going through a hard patch while I was away at college. Is this normal for my man to not confide in me emotionally?
Not all men are criers.
Yeah, correlating crying to not being willing to share emotionally, those are two different things.
Right.
You share with me emotionally almost every day. And I have only seen you cry while watching a movie, I think.
You've never actually seen me ugly cry, break down.
No, I've seen you like the fucking
yeah,
patting the shit.
Yeah.
But I've never seen Niagara Falls, can't breathe. I've never seen that from you, no.
Yep. I know when I'm starting to get emotional to just stop and regulate and not make that a thing.
Yeah.
But I also know that a lot of that can come down to where my hormones are too. You know what I mean? So like that's a thing. But that not crying is normal for a lot of dudes. Mm-hmm. And it could be that he doesn't want it thrown in his face. It could be that he's just not a crier. It's not a bad thing. Not all. What you want like a fucking sobbing emotional mess to match your sobbing emotional energy?
That would make me feel unsafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot to think about. Okay. I was also thinking, so you said him crying, having that thrown back in his face. It could be a possibility, hypothetical, that when he has brought up his feelings, it's always ended with her feelings.
Yeah. And
his feelings are just tossed off to the wayside, and now he's comforting her. Yep. That could also be a problem.
Yeah, because that becomes what's the point?
Right, like why?
Why even bring it up?
How can I become his peace and safe space?
Stop yelling at him. Learn how to communicate. This really does learning how you two need to effectively talk to each other.
Yeah. When we met, we were both super young, fit, and hot. All capital letters for hot. I was playing college athletics while he was heavy into the gym. My attraction to him has not wavered. I think he's just as hot now with his dad bod, his words, not mine, than when he had a six-pack. I, on the other hand, struggle showing that same love to myself now that I have my normal adult body. Yeah, you guys are in your 20s.
Yeah, normal adult body is an excuse. If you want to look like you did as a teenager, you just go to the gym and diet.
Yeah.
There's ways to do that. Mm-hmm. There are people who are in their 50s that have six-packs.
Oh, that's actually the next sentence.
Yeah.
I try to go to the gym when I have time, but my priorities lie elsewhere.
That's it. My priorities lie elsewhere.
Yeah.
Means you don't want it bad enough.
I've been out of the gym for like 2 months, and it's purely because I've been going through shit, and my discipline has not been there to get me to go into the gym. I started working out again this week, and Friday morning, I'm starting back my normal 5-day workout routine. Just getting it done. I felt so fucking good in the gym the other day. My arms were sore, and we have all that shit going on too. The podcast is now a full-time job. We're maintaining the household. It's just finding a way to fit it in.
It's prioritizing it.
Yeah.
Because this is a simple example. I could not watch poker on TV and go to the gym. You could take one less smoke session and go lift.
Yeah.
It's priorities. You're comfortable in doing what you're doing right now, and because you're comfortable in it, you don't want to make those changes.
Yeah.
But you're also becoming uncomfortable with your body, and you don't like the way things are looking, so you're starting to make those changes. You prioritize what is important to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And me feeling good in the body that I have to exist in is definitely a top of the priority list. So examples of where the priorities lie for the emailer is keeping our home clean, making sure that my partner comes home to a warm cooked meal ready and waiting for him, and our 2 dogs. Simon is 3 and Rosie is 6 months. I don't want to be a worse partner and neglect my home in order to put losing a little weight first. So it's not just losing a little weight first, it's you feeling good in your body.
Right.
When I don't feel good in my body, it affects our intimacy.
Affects a lot of things. It does.
Like what?
Like your mental health.
Yeah.
Like my mental health. Because when your mental health is off and you're off, I'm off. Because we're married, and that's how that's supposed to work.
Yeah. I would recommend going to the gym.
Yeah.
Definitely. I can't justify that to myself, but this has directly impacted my self-esteem and our sex life. That's justification enough.
Yep.
That made me a little angry. I can't justify that to myself, but this has directly impacted my self-esteem and our sex life. That's probably another part of the reason you guys are arguing so much.
Yep.
Go to the gym and probably everything else in your relationship is going to start falling into place. You're going to feel better about yourself. Your mental space is going to be more clear. You should start probably eating healthy too. Drink more water.
Yep. Self-care.
Yep. I used to have a crazy high libido. My partner used to have to tell me that I needed to chill out because he couldn't keep up. Now I could go for weeks. I need to preface, it's not because of anything my partner is or is not doing. He tries his best to reaffirm me at all opportunities. He calls me beautiful, slaps my butt around the house, stares at me when he thinks I'm not looking, and more. I am just not attracted to myself. I no longer find myself attractive or sexy, but my partner has never been more attracted to me. His love language is words of affirmation and physical touch, but it turns me off to see myself in a mirror when he touches my belly, thighs, or breasts. I don't look the same, and it makes me not want to have sex. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this now. You're never going to look the same. You are never going to look the way you did before you... Never, ever, never again. Before anything, ever. You're going to hit 30. You're never going to look like you did before you were 30.
Yep.
I believe you said you were 25. You will never look the way you looked before you were 25. You might be at that weight. Your skin's going to change. You're going to have wrinkles. You're going to experience life. This is one of those things where it's a you problem. You don't have to be attracted to yourself. I am not my type. I don't think I'm it. I certainly think that there are billions of women out there who are more attractive than me. You think I'm the most attractive woman in the world, though. And that's all I need. So knowing, oh God, he's looking at me. Knowing that you look at me like that, yeah, that's all I need to feel confident in myself. That's why I shake my ass for you.
I'll take it.
I'm all nervous now. You doing anything tonight?
You.
Okay. My love language is acts of service and quality time, so I'm not entirely bothered when we go a week or two without sex. but I know our romance and relationship will suffer if I don't keep our sex life alive. How do I get past this personal struggle? Peaches, has this ever happened to you in your life before? If so, how did you overcome it? I started going to the gym. I started implementing the things that I needed to be happy about my body. I'm okay with how I look. 320 plus pounds, I was not okay with that. I still hate certain aspects of my body? Yeah. There are certain things I look at on my body, I'm like, Jesus fuck. Like, how is he even attracted to me? But then I see you looking at me the way that you did, and then all of that just disappears. Because I know all of that inside of me is a problem with me. We as humans have trained ourselves to point out our imperfections to ourselves in the mirror. We don't see ourselves as a whole being. We see ourselves as our imperfections.
Right. We're also taught that.
Right.
We're taught to hate ourselves so that we buy the next thing and take the new drug and take the new weight loss supplement. And
right.
It's a learned behavioral trait. Mm-hmm. We are told constantly that we are not good enough.
By everybody.
By every corporation on the planet. Mm-hmm. Buy this product. It'll make you more.
Corporations, social medias, Kardashians, influencers, our parents. I overcame it because I chose happiness. I chose that I was tired of feeling this way, and I was tired of being depressed, and I wanted to produce happiness in my life, and I did. We are young, I know that. We are taking steps to build our future together. We have our home, a joint bank account. For household expenses, we both still have our own checking and savings account. 2 dogs, promise rings, matching tattoos, and we're both starting Roth IRAs for ourselves, and he has a 401k. We have decided that we won't get married until I finish schooling so we can prioritize building our careers without any distractions for the betterment of our future. How is a marriage a distraction? You're already doing everything a marriage is going to do. It's just you're married. Sounds like a cop-out.
It's an excuse.
Okay. But we are both in agreement that marriage is in our future. My partner was talking about marriage after the 2-year mark. I am proud of the life we are building, but he is the baby in his family with only an older brother. His brother is 3 years older than him. His family dynamic is very different from my own. My family is brash, blunt, and coarse. His family is passive-aggressive, indirect, and ostentatious.
So what?
You say, so what? I say, I think that's a lot.
Why?
Because he has come from a family who does not deal with conflict. They are passive-aggressive, so they are very much, you did something wrong, but I'm not going to tell you what you did wrong. You just need to accept that I'm upset with you. And they had that indirect, you hurt my feelings. Well, I'm not going to tell you what you did to hurt my feelings specifically. I'm just going to give a broad spectrum of how you hurt my feelings, and I'm going to get upset at you for not understanding how you hurt my feelings. So if that's the household he grew up in where there was really never any aggression, it was just psychological shit, and now all of a sudden he has someone screaming, yelling at him, that passive-aggressive, indirect conversation is very... I just lost my train of thought. I can tell you want to rush through this, and it's just...
Well, I have to pee really bad, and we have a live call in 15 minutes. But the issue in that whole scenario is not... I agree with everything that you said, but you are not... You are not the result of your environment. You are the result of the decisions you make. So if he did have that shitty family, and she had a different family, and he's choosing to live to her standard, and is choosing to not follow in the steps of his family... The way her family is and the way that his family is does not fucking matter because you are not your family.
Right.
That's why I said so what? Because I'm not my family.
Right. They have to unlearn all of that behavioral patterns.
They do, but people should be doing that anyways.
Yeah. Into the email, his parents have an opinion of how they think my partner should live his life and what we should be doing in our household, as well as almost pinning our relationship up against that of his older brothers and his wife's relationship.
That also doesn't matter because they're not in your relationship.
That would have been like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah. I mean, you can keep your opinion to yourself. You're not in our relationship.
Right.
We are together. I'm not with your mom. I'm not with your dad. I'm not with your brother. We are together. So save that shit. You can keep your opinion to yourself.
Yeah, that pinning our relationship up against that of his older brothers and his wife. I mean, like you're that involved in their marriage.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
It is weird.
I would have hit my mom with that shit. Why?
Yeah. Mind
Why?
your business. Mind your business.
As well as almost. Oh, I just read that. Everything is like a competition for which son can outshine the other. Problem is they favor his older brother in a sort of golden child syndrome.
All right. So yesterday we were recording episode 38. We just got done doing a live stream where we had a video response that somebody sent in. That was a fucking disaster.
It wasn't a video response. It was a video of the happenings in their home.
Right. It was us responding to the video, though. It was like a reaction video.
Yeah.
We had to end our live stream or our podcast early yesterday for 38 because we had a business phone call that we had to take, which I have to keep reminding or keep forgetting that I need to talk to you about that. I started dealing with that this morning.
Mm-hmm.
We have not gotten possession of the unit yet today, which is kind of disheartening, but we're working on that too. So it should be quick. We probably got like another 30 minutes of this episode.
Yeah.
So let's just run the email and then I can edit it and we can go do our things.
Okay, so I'm just going to pick up with the last sentence I remember reading. So, almost pinning our relationship up against that of his older brothers and his wife's relationship. Everything is like a competition for which son can outshine the other. Problem is they favor his older brother in a sort of golden child syndrome. So my partner has been shown time and time again that he will never be good enough for them. This causes immense conflict in our relationship because I want to be direct, honest, and set boundaries with his parents. My partner has refused to do this because it is his parents and he was taught to respect them. By not listening or obeying them, he feels like this is a disrespect to them. I have explained that their behavior makes me uncomfortable or upsets me, and he has to set boundaries as they are his parents. It is not my place.
I agree.
I agree with all of that as well.
There's a difference between respecting your parents and letting them dictate your life as an adult.
Right. There's a lot of overextension happening from parents into children's lives or adulthood. I think if a man in this kind of situation where I don't recall if she gave examples of how they make her uncomfortable, but let's say the dad makes her uncomfortable by degrading her, right? Oh, you should have stayed with what's her face, whatever it is, right? I think you are less of a man if you do not stand up for your woman in that situation. If your woman comes to you and says, hey, your mom said this and it made me uncomfortable, or this happened with your family and I'm uncomfortable, and you don't say, okay, I'll take care of it, and then actually resolve the problem, that's fucked up.
Yeah. My brain didn't go there with that.
No,
my brain there went with that, like they fawn over the older brother and it bothers her because they don't fawn over him kind of thing.
Yeah.
It could be that situation that you just described. My brain did not go there. I don't know.
It could be a plethora of things.
Yeah, it could be. It's crazy the way our cognitive bias works.
Yeah.
I'm very literal. You only gave me that information. That's where my brain went. I don't know. I could also be very tired from that fucking shit we just went through on the live stream.
That was a lot to watch.
My brain did not correlate those two things.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different scenario.
It is.
In the event that there's shit talking happening to his woman, that is a very different scenario than they're fawning and hyping the older brother up while shitting on him. But what does it say about you guys as adults? Like, even if they are fawning over the older brother, you're an adult now.
Right. Like, I wouldn't need that kind of validation.
You should not need that kind of validation.
Yeah.
I also understand the desire to be told I'm proud of you and like the want to have your parents see that recognition in your hard work. But I've also spent a long fucking time not getting that recognition and being like, fuck it. I don't need that shit from anyone. I know that I'm doing things. I can see the life that I've provided for my wife and kids, that like my life is gangster.
Yeah.
I don't need anybody telling me they're proud of me at this point. But that's a growth, you know?
It is. Since he will not set boundaries, his parents continue to have more control than I am comfortable with in our lives. I was hoping after moving out that this wouldn't continue to be such a prevalent problem. Chris, how do I get my partner to shift his focus away from his family and being a good son to making his full priority to me, his future wife, and our future and what we want?
You can't make him do anything.
Can't make him do anything, no.
But they're not married yet. So like that says that's something. Like if you're not married, you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that's reserved for marriage. That's why marriage is not living together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't expect these things if you're just the girlfriend. If you're living as a wife and you're doing wifely things, that's a different conversation. But like, if you guys are just boyfriend, girlfriend, like, and you're not, living as one family, combined finances, like his and her jobs, doing the fucking thing. I don't know. I don't know how you present that. You can tell him, like, look, if you want to get married and this is the life that you want with me, these boundaries need to be set, because as a wife, I won't accept anything less than this.
Mm-hmm.
That could be the answer. And that might need to be the conversation. You lay those boundaries down.
Yeah.
If you had defined expectations, which you've had in our life, whenever you've laid them out for me, I have had to agree to them, because we're not going to move forward with things if I don't agree to the terms that you've set. If I've set terms and you don't agree to them,
That's it.
that's it. So marriage is an agreement. It's a compromise. It is a shifting of power from two people to one person, and the constant flow of new information and evolving and adapting to things as they come. It's a want to be with another person and live that life as one person, not two separate people with two separate families and two separate entities. And I'm gonna do whatever I want because fuck him. And like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. So
Yeah. This is going to be really stupid. I'm going to say it anyway. I feel like we're kind of like conjoined twins, like one body with two heads. Like, you're living your own separate life with your own thoughts, but our bodies move as one.
yeah, it's teamwork.
Yeah. I definitely feel a ebb and flow with our energies in between us.
That's how it's supposed to be. It's the two of you working together for common goals.
If this priority shift doesn't happen, I worry about what will happen when we have children. I want to raise my children with my partner, not my partner and his parents. I was accepted to law school this spring and will be starting as a full-time law student this fall. The administration told me that working, at least until I finish my L1 year, first year of law school, it is not recommended and is nearly impossible. For me to not work at all will cause a fiscal
Financial
strain.
financial issue. So you expect him to take care of you while you do it?
I think so. So it will cause a fiscal strain on our household and relationship. I have never been a stay-at-home type woman. I have always been a 50-50 split type woman who is bringing monetary contributions as well as keeping our house a home. I'm terrified this will change our dynamic.
It will, because you said you don't have traditional values in the beginning of the email.
Yeah.
I see them gears turning.
It says, I'm terrified that this will change our dynamic and it will hurt our relationship, and I will not be able to amount to the same quality of partner in our relationship as I have been.
So she puts the quality of her abilities in her relationship based off of finances?
I am assuming on her worth on bringing in a monetary contribution, yeah. So that was something that I struggled with very hard when I stopped working. When you asked me to stop working, I was raised as, you really aren't really worth anything unless you're doing what a man can do. So I made the choice to stay home. It's something that I wanted to do. But there was that struggle of fighting that toxic side of me. So it was an adjustment period. It's going to be a different quality. Oh my God, I'm about to compare myself to cheese. So when I go grocery shopping and I'm making a charcuterie board, I'm not getting the same type of cheese.
A what?
Charcuterie.
What's it actually called?
Charcuterie.
Okay, just making sure, because people are like, did I just say charcuterie?
That's my default. It makes me laugh. I know how to say charcuterie.
Okay.
I
I
saying-
don't know what it's called, and because you say charcuterie so much, that's what I think it's called. So
It's not. I'm so sorry. I'm training you properly. I'm so mad. Yeah, so I'm not getting the same cheese for the same exact quality. Right. I'm getting different cheeses that all have a good quality. I like my Colby Jack cheese, and I also like brie cheese. One of them might be subpar cheese. I'm just going to look at that same cheese for a better quality. So transitioning from working to be a stay-at-home mom is a job shift.
yeah,
You're no longer Colby Jack cheese. You're going to be brie cheese, and it's up to you on whether or not you're going to be a quality brie cheese. It's all about the dedication you put into the work that you're doing.
what does that say about our society? And that, young women are now being told that the only value that they have is the money that they can bring into the household.
Oh, well, it wasn't just money.
I know, but think about that for a minute, because that's the life that is actually being had for some people, and in doing so, it devalues the woman's role as a mother.
Right.
Because now it's no longer mothering. You are a mother and you have a job or a career. It's no longer about being a homemaker. You have a house. Like, I don't know. I think that's a very deep thing when you really sit down and analyze that whole situation. Like, that's a problematic thing.
It really is.
If a woman puts the only value that she has on herself is a financial obligation to her household, and that's where her value is, she's not going to be a good mom. She's not going to be a good partner.
No, I wasn't.
Right. I believe that men should provide, but I say all the time, provision is not just financials. There's a whole lot of other aspects that come into that makes a man a man. But being able to pay the bills and be the worker is a huge part of that.
Yeah. I think women, because we are such emotional creatures, we crave that emotional connection with the children.
Yeah.
When you get into the workplace, there's nowhere for your emotions to go, so it just fucking gets bottled up inside of you. There's that equal exchange with a child. There's that reciprocation. At work, nobody gives a fuck about you.
Right.
Men can handle that.
We're used to nobody giving a fuck about us.
That's rough. That's not what I meant.
But it's true.
That is true. And now I feel bad for that sentence. I meant you guys think more logically.
I made a face because I'm excited.
Yeah.
Because now as soon as we're done and you go get the kids, I get to run to Home Depot.
I actually talked about the studio this morning on my vlog.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited to have a work-home life separation.
Oh, me fucking too. Me fucking too.
It's gonna be
Oh my
very
God.
nice.
I'm so over this shit being in our house.
Yeah.
The other Monday, the day that I had my bad vlog and like my depression, all I wanted to do was set this entire thing on fire. It was so bad.
I'm gonna be honest.
Fucking bad.
I was at a place where I would like hand you the fucking
You're like,
matches.
do it, babe. I'll get the s'mores.
Let me get the chocolate real quick.
I don't want to ever equate our relationship to the Harley Quinn Joker thing because that is a very toxic relationship.
It is.
And it's abusive and there's manipulation and a whole lot of foul shit. But when I see our crazies going at the same time, I'm like, oh boy, I get it. Oh boy, I get it. Yep.
Yeah, me too. And now that I am
It's a Mickey and Mallory
getting
thing.
cozy in my BPD, throwing a little throw blanket on, we're just having our girl chat on Saturday night with wine. I can definitely see how our crazies can intermingle and do a Harley Quinn Joker thing.
Yeah, Mickey and Mallory from Natural Born Killers. You haven't seen it yet, have you?
No, I
We need to
haven't.
watch that. I'll buy that. That's one of those movies that I'll actually buy. It's a
Yeah.
cult classic.
How do I continue to be a good partner and carry my weight in our household relationship while I'm in law school? You take care of the household. You be a safe
Everything you
haven
don't
for
wanna
him. Yeah, you literally be everything you don't want to be. You take care of the house. You structure your day to make sure that you need to get what you need to get done for work. I mean, not for work, but for schooling. And then something in the house needs to get done. If dinner's expected, like you have to handle dinner, whether that be DoorDash, go pick it up or cook it, that's one less decision for your husband to make. When he walks in through the front door, don't hit him with bullshit right away.
Right.
Be like, hey, babe, I hope you had a good day. I missed you. Dinner's going. You might have to blip that. I couldn't stop it. It was just going. I couldn't. I was saying it. I was like, no.
Wow. That actually happens in our house, guys. So shit.
Yeah, you do all the things you said in the beginning of the email you don't really want to do.
That's it.
You're going to get into your feminine. Yeah. My final thought encompassing everything in this email. How can I not take my partner's shortcomings, by shortcomings, I'm referring to mental loads, emotional immaturity, forgetfulness, and family dependency as a personal attack?
It's not a personal attack. That's a you problem. There's nothing personal there. He's not doing the shit on purpose.
Right. This is one of those instances where you have to, if he's not willing to listen to the podcast, you're going to have to start implementing the podcast. And it's going to take a few tries. He might be like, you trying to fucking trick me or something? Like, is this a trap? What were you saying earlier? From major pain.
You plotting on me, boy?
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
But If he's not going to listen to the podcast, all you can do is implement in yourself, in your own mental space. I'm not going to say individual life, because in marriage, you guys are living a life together. You still have your own experiences. We fucking share everything.
Why did you go to the podcast? I think I might have missed something.
If he's not willing to listen to the podcast for his emotional immaturity or whatever's happening.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, she said emotional immaturity.
I didn't hear you say that.
I might not have said it.
Now we'll have to find out in the editing process, because I didn't hear that at all. I was like, why did she go to that? Like, that's such a weird thing.
I might not have said it.
I gotta be honest, this is a personal attack shit is a you problem. You're with a man that you know has all of these character flaws, and you want to marry him, knowing that you're not okay with these things. Marriage is acceptance. I love you in all of your imperfections. I love you not in spite of, but because of your imperfections, your quirkiness and the forgetfulness and the shit that like most people would have a problem with. I don't have a problem with that. It doesn't faze me unless I'm going through a borderline episode. Then everything phases me. Full disclosure. But that is just who we are. You love my flawed ass. Like that's what love is. That's what marriage looks like. I don't. If you can't get past those things, and those things are a deal breaker for you, this is not the man to marry.
I agree. And I'm going to touch specifically on you saying when you're going through an episode, everything gets to you. That's one of those things where a lot of people go, I'm not going to fucking deal with this.
Right. Why should I have to deal with their mental illness? I became Mike Tyson there for half a second.
I thought you were going to say I became Peaches for a second.
No, illness.
But you're right. Like, I do love you even in those moments, because I know you're fucking struggling. And I know that you're fucking going through it. And in those moments, you need my love a little bit more.
Yep.
I feel really bad about forgetting that open window in the bathroom. I touched on that on my vlog this morning.
That's funny.
Forgetting the kid's backpack this morning, not closing the door as I was leaving. I'm glad that you can find beauty in that. You're forgetful. You smoke a lot. I just chalk it up to you smoke a lot. I also have, it's not just me smoking.
It's either I accept that you smoke to deal with your mental illness, or you don't smoke and like really deal with your mental illness. So forgetful, not that big of a deal.
For the forgetfulness is still there, just the mental illness is amplified.
Right.
My forgetfulness has always been bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is amplified by me smoking. But
I'm still going to choose to believe it the way I believe it, because it makes me feel better about it.
Okay.
Get super baked and leave my cookie outside for the ants instead of letting me eat it. For the people who watched the Jeff Graham Angie 2 interview,
I feel so bad.
the ants ate good. That was a good cookie. I know, because I got another one the next night and got to eat it. And I was like, oh man, this is amazing. Those ants had the best life ever.
It was a good cookie. Back into the email. Logically, I know these things are not intentional or aimed at me to hurt me. But I find myself getting worked up and frustrated as if it was done with the intention to hurt me, which I feel will be a gateway to unwanted resentment towards my partner in the long run.
Yep. That's your negativity bias and your cognitive bias.
Thank you so much for what you guys do. I feel like listening to your content has made me a more mindful person and helped me reframe some of my perspectives and thought processes. My biggest takeaway I've received from listening to you both is I prioritize accountability in all other aspects of my life. Why wouldn't I in my romantic relationship as well? I'm sorry for how long this is. I just wanted to make sure I gave you as much detail as possible. Any feedback you offer, I would greatly appreciate. And would be ecstatic if this made it onto a podcast or a YouTube video.
Well, it'll be on both, because we do everything for YouTube that gets put onto the podcast.
Yes.
Video first. And we covered everything. There's nothing really else to add.
Yeah.
We even broke down the last part right before she said thank you. So
yeah.
I don't think there's anything more to really say here.
I'm working on my forgetfulness.
Yeah.
I make sure I turn off the fans every time I come inside. I mean, everything else has been sliding, but you haven't had to worry about the fans.
Is that because you go, put that on your podcast, bitch, every time you close the fuck, or every time you turn a switch off?
No.
You only just did that once for the podcast?
Yes.
Or for the vlog, I mean?
It was, so you can add it into yours, yeah. Did you end up doing that? Of course not.
Because it was on your drive, or it was on your camera, not mine.
Yeah.
If you'd have put it on my camera, I would have left it on there. But
your camera's so heavy.
You may end up getting a new camera. Your camera gets it. I want you to move your mount from the left side of your Jeep to the window. Oh, we were supposed to pick your fucking truck up today. You have to pick the kids up in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
I was
not
like,
happening.
there is no time.
Maybe after you pick the kids up.
Yeah, I meet you there or something.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to work because I'm in the truck. We would have to come here.
Pick me up and then run up there. They close at 5. We have time. You'll be back at 2:30. It's not going to take an hour to drive to Venice.
No, it is not. I will not be back at 2:30 because it's almost 3.
But when you hit your gas pedal in your Jeep where your camera is, the camera does this weird wobble thing and it makes me motion sick.
Gotcha.
And then when you stop, it does it again. Like it somehow knows you're moving and it's trying to stabilize. I don't know. It's really weird.
Do you think that's the mount?
I don't know. I think it's the camera. I think it's the in-body stabilization of the camera. It may need an update. I'm going to try to update the firmware on the camera first and see if that fixes it. But I also want you to move your camera to the center of your window.
Okay, I may need help getting that
I'll do it.
because
Yeah,
my nails.
I'll do it. Anything else you want to add?
No.
No? All right, guys. With that being said, remember you are the author of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we'll see you motherfuckers next time.
Bye, guys.